Everyone, this is Nikachu, and we are back playing Simic Merfolk in Modern, or should we say, Coco Folk. But before we get into that, we're going to thank our sponsor, the Pt.2. You know, the Commander card pool is enormous. How on earth did you take your 110 card Commander deck down to 100? Well, go check it out by James LePage on the Pt.2. He'll tell you how. So we're on the draw, and this hand is awful garbage. Hot garbage. We are going to mulligan this. 5 lands and a vial. No thank you. This hand's a bit sketchy. Sort of willing to pitch this as well, though. Our opponent kept 7. Well, we do have a Spreading Seas, so like if we draw Mutavault, we could Spreading Seas that. Okay, we'll keep this. We have 20 lands in our deck anyway. Put you on the bottom, command a speaker. Put you on the bottom. The hand is full of 2 drops. So it's got that going for it. But I've definitely lost my fair share of keeping a 1-land 6-card hand. I had trouble casting its spells, especially since we have so many double blue ones. We got one. Another problem is that this card is like pretty bad on the draw against a multitude of decks. But not useless, it can still scry. But this is definitely not the Goldfish 2 the turn 4 win sort of hand. So sleight of hand, don't know anything yet. Could be probably Storm if it's basic island into sleight of hand. Botanical Sanctum, pass. More and more, I think people are going to associate the Sanctum with blue-green Merfolk. Okay, we're up against Storm. Ooh, we just drew that thing. We just drew you! What to do with you now? We're definitely going to pay the life. I guess we're just going to play a Merfolk. Can't afford to do anything else. Just put Lords in play. Maybe hope you don't have red mana. This is just one of those games where we just might lose on the spot. F6. Go for it. Put a card on top. And what else? Put a card on top. You like both your cards. Oh no, it means they've got a land on top. A good land. Well, this is a good land. Wow, we're going to lose next turn. There's just nothing we can do about it. I guess the best thing we can do is we're going to play the Marigiri and hope they somehow don't combo off next turn. We can play Harbinger, bounce the Borrow back to their hand, and hopefully that gives us just enough time to win. This could be quite a bit different if we had a turn 1 Command Speaker, or even a Curse Catcher. Curse Catcher would be big here. That would be lovely. If our opponent doesn't have any rituals in their hand, that could help. But we'll see what happens. Oh, Remand. That sucks. It's not thinking about Remand. Well, that's another way we could lose horribly. Keep forgetting. Storm plays Remand. They like Remand now. I guess I will leave this to block. It might be relevant that Borrow gets in for some damage. Oh, did you skip through your turn? Please tell me you skipped through your turn. You tried to skip through your turn. Okay, I have 6. I don't think we're gonna live through this. That's just the way things are against Storm. Sometimes you just have to tap out and then die. But it just won an SCG Open, so I would be super happy if this is a big deck on the map, because I think Merfolk has a great sideboard for this deck. And I think the fact that we've got more 2-drops and Kumena Speaker is going to give us even more like game against this deck. Like, we can side out the Spreading Seas and the Marrow Jury. We don't really need those things. So being even more low to the ground is great. Oh, we might keep in Marrow Jury here, because I don't think Harbinger of the Tides is all that great either. But we've got the tools. You know, we're not playing with Dismember, but we can. But the most important thing is having Dispel and Relic of Progenitus. Those are the most important. And we're playing with Disdainful Stroke in the sideboard, so I think we're pretty prepared. I think we're in good shape to be able to combat Storm. So we will put... what are we going to put in the graveyard? I guess we're just going to put Pyretic Ritual. We're going to put the Rituals in the graveyard. Make you cast that Past in Flames. Oh, okay. Do I have an option here? Does anything matter? So they can get to... So if I put the Rituals in the graveyard... There's nothing I can do. I'm boned anyway. So I put the Rituals in the graveyard. They Manamorphose, they have 4 mana floating. Use 3 of it to cast Past in Flames. Get the Rituals and the Manamorphose back. So this is all pretty moot. Then do it all over again. Storm beware. Don't get too good. A lot of stuff has been banned from your deck because things are too good. You should ban Goblin Electromancer. This is a good idea. This type of card, I guess, can exist, but only legendary. Or I guess it doesn't even matter. Like, they only need 1. Who cares? I don't often see someone have 2 it's not like the second Goblin Electromancer makes these desperate rituals so much cheaper. Put Pyretic Ritual and a Pyretic Ritual in the graveyard. Why are you doing this? I mean, I don't know what's in your hand. Maybe you've got some really good stuff in your hand. You have several grape shots? To make some sense to me? Because the second grape shot here is not killing me. Although next turn I will die. Huh. Oh, you killed the Lord of Atlantis. Huh. Okie dokie. And you have 1 red mana left. That is very interesting. Another interesting thing is, even if you Past in Flames with this, you can't cast anything in here, like Manamorphose needs red mana. Maybe we try to mana screw you then. Well, if I Spreading Seas and draw a Mutavault, I can't cast it because I'm definitely going to play Lord of Atlantis or something, so let's fetch. Spreading Seas, by the way, pretty terrible usually against Storm, because they can just draw land and negate everything. Yeah, so I couldn't cast this guy this turn, but we can cast him next turn, and then maybe we can bounce this Brawl back to our opponent's hand. Okay, pass. Don't play a land, pass the turn. That would be hilarious. They've drawn a few cards off of Manamorphose, so we might see a land. So they do got a land. So let's see if we can keep up with the Spreading Seas. That would be hilarious. Spreading Seas? No, not Spreading Seas. But we can bounce we can bounce Baral back to their hand. That helps a lot. Well, it helps. Okay, let's hope they don't have Remand this time. They don't have Remand this time. Alright, let's go for this. If we somehow beat this Storm player, that would be hilarious. That would be the most ridiculous win I've ever had against Storm. See, now they have enough mana to play the Baral and cast Past in Flames, and then that's it. So they need a ritual in their hand, or anything that makes mana to go off. Well, there's that. And now we lose. There was a glimpse of hope. We didn't lose on turn 3 like we should have. And this is all for nothing. And at the speed our opponent is playing, they are very excited. Yeah, we'll just let them do it. We're going to be one of those players. Not a big deal. I didn't think I was winning this one anyway. Okay, we'll concede now. Okay, so going on to the sideboard. A lot of good stuff. So Relic of Progenitus is fantastic. Dispel is fantastic. So like Relic of Progenitus, like they win the game pretty often because they put a great density of important cards in their graveyard through Gifts Ungiven and can flashback things with Past in Flames. So Relic interacts with both their big payoff cards. And the number one big and most important card is Gifts Ungiven. It finds them anything that they need, including Past in Flames, and Dispel interacts with that perfectly. And there's a bunch of other instants that it can interact with, like, I don't know, if they have... I mean, in theory, it can counter a ritual if it's if it's incredibly relevant on that very turn. And also because of Past in Flames and Gifts Ungiven, we're bringing in Disdainful Stroke. That's really important. Can't remember if Reclamation Sage is good. Damn, are there any enchantments that they bring in against us? I don't think so. I don't think so. Collected Company is a maybe. Being able to do anything at flash speed is good. I think but I'm pretty sure we're going to dump this. It's just expensive. We're definitely going to dump the Spreading Seas. That is just useless as hell. And we'll dump some Harbinger of the Tides. And everything else is pretty good. We're doing pretty good on the creatures, actually. Ooh, we are super threat dense. Although we don't have any way of interacting with that retarded... that annoying Goblin Electromancer and Baral. Those things are annoying. Can't do anything about it. Ceremonious Rejection. No, you do not counter anything. So I guess that's going to be our deck. Marajiri is annoyingly expensive, but it's not too expensive. On a critical turn, he'll help us. Marajiri will help us win. You like to play first? I would love to play first. Ugh. We have no interaction. So the way I look at it against Storm, that is, we are not winning by turn. We have no way of preventing a turn 3 win with this hand. So we should take at least one mulligan, at least one aggressive mulligan to give us a better chance. Like, if we had even a 1-drop in this hand, it would give us a chance of at least winning on turn 4. This hand has no chance of beating a Storm player who's goldfishing, so we're going to mulligan, even though it looks perfectly reasonable. This hand's great! We have interaction, we've got a bit of a clock, we have mana efficiency with Aether Vial. That's what we're doing. So if I mulligan to 6 and we had the exact same hand we had last time but one less card, I would keep it. I'm just going to aggressively mulligan to 6, and that's it against combo decks like Storm. Don't go any further. You're just going to have to hope for the best, because mulliganing to 5 is like just a death sentence. You might as well just shoot. You're shooting yourself in the foot, but you can afford to go down to 6. This card... I don't really want it, but it's something we can do on... It will help us play our Branch Walker on turn 2. But is that important? It's sort of important. Might be important for casting future green cards. So turn 1 we could play Mutavault, then Aether Vial. The next turn we could play Branch Walker. Yeah, we're on the play, so... Oh no, yeah, we're on the play, so okay, we'll put this on top. That's fine. Because we don't have to hold up Disdainful Stroke for a while. At least for a few turns. I should have strongly considered taking out 2 Mare Regery for a Collected Company, because it's not insane. No, but Gibson given his instant speed. I don't know. So we are... I'm going to play the Mutavault, because next turn we're going to play the Botanical Sanctum. It is not unrealistic to... It's possible. This guy's called Best Storm. That's the best name for a guy who plays Storm. Someone should name themselves Best Merfolk out there. That'd be sweet. What did they do? They put a card on top and a card on the bottom. So we're going to play our Branch Walker and be very proud. It's going to become a 3/2 creature. We're going to keep the Lord of Atlantis on top. It's exactly what we want to see. And we're going to pass the turn. Goblin Electromancer. Okay, so we gotta keep Disdainful Stroke up next turn. Can't put the shields down. So if we hit them, let's see, Lord this turn, hit you for 4, go down to 13, and if I play a Lord next turn, it will be for 3, 7, 12. Oh, it's close. But we could also just hit a Lord and win. That's possible. Or they might fetch or something. Or shock themselves and lose. But whatever, we have a few turns to figure this out. Not so bold. I wonder if they're missing a mana. Silvergill Adept. There's no chance of us winning this turn. So let's just attack with the Merfolk Branch Walker and then figure it out after that. I'm only going to attack with the Merfolk Branch Walker because they might try to Lightning Bolt our Lord of Atlantis. And in that case, I'm going to Violin Master the Pearl Trident to make sure that the Branch Walker is still unblockable. Okay, nothing happened, so I think we're just going to let our opponent take the damage. We'll Violin Silvergill Adept at the end of their turn. Take it from there. Yes, you may have a Desperate Ritual. Guessing this is going to be getting a gifts or something. So the question is, do I Disdainful Stroke this? Or is there like some way else I can lose next turn? It's possible, like, with a bunch of rituals, that we're just going to be dead anyway. We could be, like, pretty boned. Let's just be safe and Disdainful Stroke this thing. It requires them to have Manamorphose into Remand in order to protect it. And that's the manabase.com. Get dunked on instant replay. Shields aren't completely down. We could play Silvergill Adept and hopefully draw a Dispel. Okay, Sleight of Hand, that's good. That reduces a lot of their mana. And they're probably dead. It requires them to have like land and a million rituals and Manamorphose and then get themselves out of this somehow. And there's a shock. Sorry, there's a fetch land. But very likely we win now. Very, very likely we win. In fact, I'm going to take this thing up to 3. That is how confident I think we are going to win this. Untap a land. Yeah, our opponent saw enough. That's how you beat Storm. Just counter things. I think that everything is good. Not going to change anything. Collected Company not showing its strength, but because it's an aggressive metagame right now. That's why, you know, it's aggressive right now. It's super fast. So we've got a pretty good curve here. Really nice curve. A lot of card draw, and Curse Catcher at least offers a little bit of interaction, so we're going to keep it. It'd be nice to have something other than that. So Curse Catcher versus Kamena Speaker. Curse Catcher can't attack into anything. Kamena Speaker can. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure by turn 2, we need to have some form of counter magic up. So it's probably going to have to be Curse Catcher. Some argument to playing the island first. Don't know how much it matters. If our opponent has no creature, this is big. Oh, but they had one. Kamena Speaker, which is fine. We're gonna play Silvergill. Unfortunately, we have to. Well, okay, we could tap out. And probably we have to. We need to like draw actual answers here. The other option is we don't. We could, for example, play Kamena Speaker, Island, go, try to represent some sort of interaction. But I think it's too early for that. I think we have to get something on the board. So we'll play Silvergill Adept. We'll show the Kamena Speaker. And we're just going to have to hope that our opponent doesn't kill us next turn. Simple as that. Sometimes you just have to tap out against Storm, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Oh man, this sort of implies they've got a lot of gifts ungiven, so we're going to counter this. Another Kamena Speaker. How to deal with this? Could play Mirror Regery and empty our hand next turn. And we're not really close to winning at all anyway. And at the very least we could attack for 3, because Brawl can't block. But this is the turn where we have the room to start bluffing things. And I really don't want to tap out. Like, for example, if we play Island Kamena Speaker, that's pretty strong. But then, like, what do we do after that? Another strong line is play Island Silvergill Adept. and then leave up Botanical Sanctum and don't play Kumena Speaker, that's pretty strong. I don't know. I have a feeling, though, that our opponent is just going to be jamming threats each turn. If we play the Maruigiri, we empty our hand next turn. It still doesn't win. It still is like really, really far. I'm tempted to just draw a card and see what happens off the Silvergill Adept. Because also, next turn we could play the Maruigiri, play Kumena Speakers for days, and like draw a Dispel as well. But we don't get any damage this turn. That's not bad. Let's hold up that interaction. Why not? I'm going to send a message. We're going to send a message. We've got Kumena Speaker. We're not playing it. Yeah, okay. So, and now we're going to pass. Sending the message. I don't know how much it matters, to be honest. I'm just hoping that our opponent will play a little bit more passively than they normally would. There's the sleight of hand, people! They're looking for like a remand. They're looking for backup. I hope they're looking for backup. They're thinking hard about it. There's always a little element of bluff in these combo matchups. Like, tapping out won't always present you like the best chance of winning, because even though I have this Kumena Speaker in play, like, there's just no damn chance I'm going to win in the next 2 turns. Maybe in the next 3 turns, but if I like hold back this Kumena Speaker 1 turn, it doesn't matter anyway, because I'm going to play Maruigiri next turn and then play all the Kumena Speakers all at once. This like so strongly represents some sort of counter magic. If they have the win and you tap out, they win anyway. Like, you couldn't do anything about it. At least bluffing something gives you a chance of them passing back and forth. And there we go. We earned ourselves a turn. See what we can do with it. We got ourselves a Curse Catcher. Excellent. We'll have like 1 flooded strand to represent something. Okay, let's try to get this Maruigiri in play. Let's see if we can get the Maruigiri in play and see if we can empty our hand. It'd be hilarious if they remand that. Okay, so next let's... There's a bit of a problem here. If we play Kumena Speaker, we tap out. That's not good. We tap out temporarily, even though we have the Maruigiri trigger. I did this wrong then. I shouldn't play the Maruigiri. I should play Kumena Speaker, Curse Catcher, and then next turn play Maruigiri. Yeah, I can't tap out here. I have to keep representing the bluff. If I tap Botanical Sanctum, then our opponent just goes for gifts. Okay, so let's attack with our Silvergill Adepts. It's possible that we're going to blow up the Maruigiri and then we're going to lose, but we have to put some pressure on our opponent. I don't think I can go back and forth for too long. Well, that sucks. We're going to get in some damage. It's not really damage that I think is worth it, but whatever. Your opponent just has a bad hand. But I think we are accurately representing a lot of strength. I think we're showing a lot. I think we're showing a ton of strength the way we're playing this game. Ooh, I have a fetch land in my hand. I should fetch first. Well, it sort of worked out for us. If I fetch first, then if there's a good card on top, we could just leave it there. I think I'm going to play this. We're going to get a breeding pool, and we're going to start playing Kimono Speakers here. But we are very strongly representing counter magic. Look, we drew a Mutavault that they saw. They saw the Mutavault. And we're not even playing the Mutavault. Why? Because we've got blue spells to cast. And we'll play the Curse Catcher. And we're still representing this Dispel pretty hard. And we'll pass the turn. Either we are patient, we have a very good patient waiting game, or our opponent just blew a Gifts Ungiven right into a Curse Catcher at the beginning of the game by accident. And we actually have the Dispel. We saved ourselves time to actually get this Dispel. Okay, so let's say attack with everything. Block, Merfolk Branchwalker, take 5, go down to 12. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad, I'll take that. Let's get in some damage. And we're going to play 2 Kimono Speakers and a Mutavault post-combat. That's it. This is fine. They go to 12. Not a bad follow-up. Any Lord will theoretically win. 2 attacks will win. There's a lot of air in a Storm deck, mind you. Like, they could have like a bunch of rituals in their hand with nothing to do with them, and nothing to do with it. It's a good thing they didn't play Blood Moon, otherwise we would have been doomed. Blood Moon would have been pretty good. Remand is pretty bad now for them. Like, even if they remand the Dispel, there's a pretty good chance they side remand out. But even if they remanded the Dispel, like, we can recast it a million times. We have infinite Dispels against a few remands. What is this? This is them going off, I think. So we're going to try to block. I guess I can try to double block. Why not? Do they need Revolt for some reason? That is this for Storm? Storm count? Okay, so you can kill just 1 creature. Okay, it's fine. Oh, you can kill 2 creatures? How's this working? I lost 2 creatures. Cast, got a Storm, plus the Brawl. Oh, whatever. That was clever. I didn't think about that. That's neat. So we're going to get in for 6. They go down to 6, and we're still going to need some help. Although the Branch Walker will die, but everything else is free rolling from now on. There we go. And we pass. So now they probably just have to go for it with whatever it is that they have. And we're just going to dispel it and go on to game... and then win the match! I forgot, this is game 3. Did I successfully bluff our opponent all the way to this point? Actually, what am I even doing this for? Is that even the card to counter? Because they could, like, ritual into, like, a succession. So we dispelled that one thing. Oh, that is gold! Gold, I say. So now they just can't win. It's over, people. I mean, we just might win, like, right here. But if we don't, the relic should seal the deal. Yeah, we do it. So that's how it's done against Storm. You have to be careful about tapping out sometimes. There is an element of bluff. You sort of learn this from the games when you do have interaction, when you don't tap out. Because, for example, if our opponent has, like, Gifts Ungiven and a bunch of rituals in the hand, they can't just throw their Gifts Ungiven into the one counter spell that you're representing. Or it would be stupid to, because if it gets countered, now they could just die to some goldfish win. So don't always tap out against Storm players. It's dangerous. I mean, I was willing to do it on turn 2 because I would be too far behind if I didn't do it. But later on, like I'd say after turn 3, I think it was perfectly fine to start representing some interaction. Because as long as you keep up mana, the Storm matchup usually goes pretty long. Like, what turn was this? Was turn 8. You can get to turn 8 comfortably against Storm if you're not tapping out all the time. Happens all the time when you have, like, when you have counter spells in hand. And you're not tapping out, you're being patient, you're slowly maneuvering, and you don't always have to have that interaction. And here's the thing. If you don't have the interaction, and if you don't have any counter spells in your hand, and they just go for it, you weren't winning anyway. You weren't winning anyway. If you tried to bluff and they went for it anyway, you weren't winning that match anyway. If you tapped out, you would have lost. But so anyway, I just don't want to tap out. And our opponent very strongly represented strength when they just threw a Gifts Ungiven right into our Curse Catcher. It told me they have another one, and they were just trying to get through our interaction on the board. So anyway, that was our matchup against Storm. I think it was very skillfully played. It was a wonderful, beautiful win. Commander Speaker helped a lot because it was very cheap. Like, we won because we went wide, which is weird. But if these were... if all these Commander Speakers were Harbinger of the Tides, probably we would not have won as comfortably because we would not have been able to empty our hand as efficiently as we did. So the green creatures helped again. But Simic Merfolk showing the value of being Simic. Cheap creatures is just wonderful. And our interaction worked out pretty well. And this thing would have been great. If our opponent bolts a creature, blocks another, we would just play Relic and it would have been over. So we're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank themanabase.com for being our sponsor. This has been Nikachu, playing Simic Merfolk in Modern.